Check the description for more game reviews, playlists, and videos.
Hey guys, this is Ragnarok Hybrid Revived here, and I just wanted to talk about some things that I really hope they buckle down and fix in Naruto Storm 3, and by they I mean CyberConnect 2, of course, because who else is making the game? And I really hope that they fix these things either before the game comes out or sometime early into the game's release via patch. The reason why is because these are things that really detracted from the fun in Naruto Generation. So just to get right into it, sleep tags. People just throw sleep tags at their opponent and basically do whatever the hell they want to them while they're asleep, and tell me if that didn't sound creepy. It just becomes a test of who can throw their sleep tag the fastest and get the enemy to sleep and get their ultimate jutsu off, rinse and repeat. That's not the kind of game we want here, folks. Next up, I wanted to talk about frenzy pills. Frenzy pills are just a bad idea in fighting games, period. I remember in Soul Calibur 3, in the Chronicles of the Sword mode, there were a couple of bosses, 2 I think, that did not flinch when you attacked them. And those were the hardest bosses in the entire game. Not flinching is not a skill. Not flinching is cheap as fuck. Especially in a fighting game which relies on flinching in order for people to get combos off. If you can't get a combo off, you are screwed. You are at a complete disadvantage. So being able to take a pill that makes you not flinch at all is just not fair in a fighting game. So they need to take out frenzy pills for that reason. And also characters that use frenzy pills, Naruto, Kyuubi Chakra mode, he does not need frenzy pills, a guard break item, and an explosive tag. What? Come on, let's balance him out a little bit. He's already tough enough as a character in and of himself. Why does he need 3 of the strongest items in the entire game? Next, I wanted to talk about hitboxes. Now, you all know what I'm talking about. The hitboxes for some of these moves are just outright ridiculous. Tsunade, what is up with her hitbox? I mean, come on. Tsunade is a powerful woman, yes. But she is not so strong that when she strikes the ground, she shakes the fucking ether and makes the aura of the universe collapse. She's just not that powerful. So why does her hitbox stretch all the way up to the top of the map? I don't understand if that was done intentionally, why it was done intentionally, and why no one has seen it yet. Another thing is air dashing. Air dashing breaks guards way too easily. It is very easily spammable. It makes the old type of dashing completely obsolete, and it doesn't take that much chakra. Have you ever seen a match where people are just constantly air dash? Oh yes, you have, because that's every match. Anyone who's any good at this game air dashes out of their ass. They air dash every other second. Why? Because if you don't air dash in this game, I've learned from experience you are at a huge disadvantage. They have made air dashing way too necessary, and it turns every match into a boring air dash confrontation because people are just air dashing into each other and then they get canceled out, then air dash into each other again and then it gets canceled out again, then air dash into each other, and then one person jumps up but he doesn't air dash, and the other person air dashes, and then the other person blocks him, and then air dashes into him, and it's a combo off. Oh my god, it's an air dashing conspiracy. It's so fucking ridiculous. Air dashes need to be nerfed so badly. Make it so that they don't break guards, and make it so that they take up way more chakra, or just take them out completely. Life was so much easier when we just had a normal dash and a ground dash. That's it. That's all we need. We don't need an air dash. Oh, but people will say, what about Deidara? What are we going to do about Deidara when the Deidara spammers are in the air and we can't get them? I'll get to Deidara. Next, I wanted to talk about invincibility frames. We have invincibility frames for Neji and a bunch of other characters. Don't even get me started. I mean, I would say about half of the characters have invincibility frames during their ultimate jutsu, and the other half do not. Honestly, why is an invincibility frame in a fighting game at all? Like, really? I can't think of any other fighting game that actually has invincibility frames. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of Ninja, Street Fighter, Soul Calibur. I just can't think of any other fighting game that has invincibility frames. Invincibility frames in a fighting game are inherently not fair because it leaves the person who is not invincible at a complete disadvantage. And then I wanted to talk about some broken jutsu. Now, there are a lot of these, and I probably won't get to them all, but I just wanted to talk about some of the major ones. Sasuke's Amaterasu. Amaterasu is broken because it's very fast. It cancels every other jutsu out, and it hits quite a few times. Pain's jutsu is only OP. I don't think Pain is an OP character, but I think his jutsu is OP because it lasts for too long. You can think, oh, let me stop blocking now because his jutsu is over, and then you'll get hit by something that's not even there and get knocked back. And then be like, what the fuck? His jutsu was over like a half second ago. Why am I still getting hit and knocked back? Kiba. Oh god, do I hate Kiba. I completely hate Kiba. I hate Kiba with a passion. I wish Kiba was never drawn. Actually, maybe I don't hate Kiba so much as I hate Akamaru. Akamaru, that dumb dog, is the bane of my existence. Akamaru sucks. Why? Because in this game, Akamaru literally counts as another character. Kiba dashes, Akamaru dashes. Kiba does a jutsu, Akamaru does a jutsu. Kiba does a combo, Akamaru does a combo. Wait, did you hear what I said before? Kiba does a jutsu, Akamaru does a jutsu. That means we not only have to worry about Kiba's Fang over Fang, we have to worry about Akamaru's Fang over Fang. That means Kiba can do a Fang over Fang, and you sub it, and then you end up behind Kiba. Whew, okay, I'm safe. I don't have to worry about that move any. What the fuck is that? Guess who's right behind Kiba with their own Fang over Fang, dashing right into you? Aka-fucking-Maru. That Fang over Fang is an absolutely broken jutsu, and they either need to do it together as one unit, or Akamaru needs to not be in the fucking game. Akamaru needs to be off the map. Maybe he can appear during some cutscene combos or whatever, but not constantly on the map taking up space doing things that Kiba is doing, because that makes Kiba count as two people. Either that or they need to nerf Kiba somehow. Make him slower. Make him take more damage. Do something to make him less effective because he has another person there with him. Not a person, a dog, but you get what the fuck I'm saying. Next up, Killer Bee. Even if Killer Bee is the main character that a person is using, when he uses his jutsu, you can sub it and end up in the same place. I don't know why this happened. Then there's Hidan's jutsu, which only really becomes a problem when he's used as a support character, which is like, you know, every time. His jutsu lasts for at least 4 or 5 seconds. So he's on the map for all that time swinging his little scythe around, and he does about 10 hits, which means that even if you're blocking it, you're completely vulnerable to a grab. If he breaks your guard, you're just completely screwed, and all that time while he's attacking you, there's nothing you can do. You either take the attack or you try to block it. If you sub it, you will sub in the same place. Why? Fucked if I know. And then there's Inoki. Now, Inoki and PTS Gaara have the same problem, but I'm not going to talk about PTS Gaara because he's not going to be in Storm 3. Inoki, however, summons like 7 rocks and throws them at you. And it wouldn't be a problem if you could just sub one of the rocks and end up completely behind him or something. But no, Inoki summons the rocks and you end up right in front of the next rock that's coming toward you. No ninja would be dumb enough to do that. No ninja subs, does a kawarimi and says, hey, I'm gonna kawarimi back into the same place. Oh my god, it's just so dumb, it's giving me an aneurysm. Deidara has his very own section. Why? Because he's been broken since Storm 2, and they did not fix him. Oh wait, but we have air dashing now, and you said air dashing was bad. However, TC2 put in air dashing so that we can combat Deidara. Okay, but here's my problem with that. Why did they have to implement an entirely new game function just to fix one character? They couldn't have just fixed Deidara? Air dashing is unnecessary, and Deidara needs to be nerfed. Those are two facts. Just because something can be combated doesn't mean it's fair, and they need to do something to make it fair. It's like saying, hey, if someone's running up to you with a knife, you can combat it by lunging at them. Next, I wanted to talk about 180-degree projectile launching. Now, that's a long name for saying, basically, if someone's about to throw a projectile at you and you sub, the projectile will hit you anyway. Whether you sub behind them, whether you sub to the side of them, whether you sub directly in the same place, the projectile will find you. The projectile will get you. The projectile will kill your family. No matter where you go, the projectile will be there watching you. And there is nowhere you can go to escape the projectile. I can't even explain it. It's so hard to explain because my college level mind is just so unequipped to explain how dumb this is. So I won't even go into that. They just need to fix that. Whatever it is, they need to fix it. And then finally, subbing in the same place is the last thing I have issue with. I promise it is the last thing I have issue with. But it is one of the biggest things I have issue with. Subbing in the same place is a problem that needs to get fixed desperately soon. It is just annoying. There's no reason why Hidan should be wailing on me with his scythe, whether he's a support character or not, and I should sub him and get caught again, whether I'm pressing the block button, whether I'm holding the block button down with the force of 1,000 titans or not. He still hits me with the same combo. Once I sub, I should be far away from both Hidan and the attacking character. You don't have to sub behind the character. You can just sub off to the side a few feet to safety. That's it. That's all that matters. Why is that so difficult? Why would anyone sub in the same place? So I'm hoping that if they fix these problems, Naruto Storm 3 can be a decent game. It can be better than Generations. That's all I want. All I want is for Naruto Storm 3 to be better than Generations. That is it. That is all. Ragnarok out.